Alright, today I'm looking at replacing the chain on my old Sears Craftsman chainsaw. And the first thing that I needed to do was determine which chain to buy for the saw. And what I did was I looked at the bar, because this is not the original bar, this is a replacement bar that I put on at one point. And you can see that on the side of the bar there is scribed in the length of the chain and the chain number. So in this case it's an 18-inch bar and a number 62 chain. So I ended up at Lowe's the other day and was able to find the correct chain here. Now the other way to kind of figure out what chain you need, if you were going to buy this directly through Sears, you could look at this label here that's on the saw, and you can see those part numbers there for the bar and the chain. And you could probably even cross-reference those online or maybe even at the store to get the right non-Sears. Okay, the first thing to do is remove these two bolts from the side cover, and I'm just going to use this multi-function wrench tool that was supplied with the saw. Most saws come with something like this, and they're designed to fit these bolts if you have to replace the chain out in the field. Okay, now that I've got these just loose, I'm going to then take this bar adjuster and I'm going to loosen it a little bit so the chain has some slack on it, just so that there isn't tension on it. And then I'm going to finish taking the rest of these all the way off. Okay, with the cover removed, you can see the bar and the chain wrapped around the sprocket. So then, now that I might have to loosen this just a little more. And you can see kind of the slide mechanism on the bolts and how that sort of adjusts itself.
Can you use this one?
So now, get the chain off. I'll take the bar out of the way and then take this chain and set that aside. Okay, so I've taken the chain out of the box and I've got it untangled, and the next thing to do here is make sure that it's oriented correctly, and there's a couple of ways to do that. The first way being the sort of pictures that are molded into the side cover kind of show the shape of the chain and which way it should be pointing. And the other way is that on the chain itself, if I can get the camera to focus here, there is a little line, kind of like an arrow, that shows sort of the direction it should be facing. There, I think it's visible there. So you want to orient this that way and then get it wrapped around the sprocket and then line it up so that the teeth on the bottom of the chain seat in the groove on the bar. And you can see here that I've got the bar all the way pushed towards the rear of the saw and kind of under the sprocket lip to kind of hold it. It still won't be flat, so this won't line up perfectly, but we should be able to get it fairly close. Okay, you can see I've got the chain mounted in the grooves there, and it's all snug along the bar, and any slack I've left on the sprocket side. And now what I'll do is just put the side cover back on, and that'll help kind of push everything down. And then just get these nuts on here started, and we'll just snug these up just to get everything squared up. Okay, so I've got the nuts snugged up, but not tight, not too tight. So I should be able to now use my tool and tighten this adjuster and take the slack out of the chain. Of course, you got to be careful that it doesn't pop out of the groove here, which mine has. So I'll loosen that back up a little bit and get everything centered. This is probably best done with two hands to make sure everything is right. So I'm going to put the camera down and kind of line everything up properly. It's just kind of coming apart on me here now. Okay, so I've got everything tight to the point where the chain moves on the bar here, but has enough slack to kind of be loose and freely move, but it won't pop out of the raceway there. So now I'll just tighten these down and we should be good. Okay, got everything all tightened up, and I actually tightened it up a tiny bit more than what I showed previously. You can see it still moves, but it's a little tighter. It takes a little more force. The reason being is that this is going to loosen up quite a bit, even the first time I use it. In fact, it's probably always a good idea to, once you put a new chain on and tension it, make a few cuts and then stop and check the tension, and kind of do that, you know, pretty regularly the first time you use it. And then it should break in, but you know, keep an eye on it, and then after a while it'll kind of settle down after it wears in and stretches. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful.